Hey guys, welcome back to another Creative Shock video. Limelight here, and I'm here with Lifdrasyl. How are you, Lifdrasyl? aka Sean.
Hello. It is
Long time no see.
1 a.m. for me.
1
Yeah,
a.m.
it's
Oh
1
my
a.m. for me, but I'm staying
goodness.
up doing this video for you.
Thank you so much. So I've got Sean here. A little bit about Sean, aka Lifdrasyl. One of my good friends in Grand Archive. He is a competitive Grand Archive player with many Ascent top 8s under his belt. What is your, I guess, roguelike deck builder background, Sean?
Uh, I mean, I've played Slay the Spire most recently.
Mhm.
I got suckered into putting, let's see what my Steam says, putting 104 hours into Across the Obelisk instead of preparing for US Nats. So that was fun.
He's
Uh, I am a roguelike and a gacha addict. So I have never
perfect.
played CZN before,
So yeah,
despite
I
Line's
made sure.
attempts
I
to
made
drag me in.
sure. Yes, I did try to get you in, and I made sure before we did this video that you don't know anything. So the plan is
Yeah,
today,
I don't
guys.
know anything about this game. So
So
if I
I'll give
flame
you
your
a
favorite
brief
character,
rundown. I'll give you a brief rundown just in case. So
unlucky.
what I'll say is the way that the game works is that you have three characters. You go into a run with three characters. So at the start, you'll pick three, and you'll pick their
Okay,
partners, which are AK, their weapons, that give them different
sure.
abilities, like ultimate abilities. You get
Hmm.
3 action points per turn. On these screens, you'll have how much action points things will cost. And you
Okay,
said you've played Chrono Arc before, correct?
yeah.
So the enemies have action point countdowns where each time you make an action, they will get closer to making their action. Okay. So if
Okay.
you pop multiple zero costs, you may make their action happen faster. They may even have
Hmm.
multiple actions lined up that you'll make their actions move faster. Another thing before I show
Hmm.
you is there's a thing called ego abilities. It's their ultimate abilities. You get to use these once per fight potentially, but you need to earn up ego points by using abilities, etc., etc.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. We'll go
Can
into
you
our
can you pre-charge these?
pre-charged.
Can you
What?
pre-charge the ego abilities or no?
Your ego points will
Like,
stack and
if
sit
I
there
have
until you use them.
okay, but if I like finish a fight with an ego ability like fully stacked and I
Mhm.
go into the next fight, will it still be fully stacked?
Yes. Yep.
Okay,
And
so you
I'll
can
also
pre-charge them.
explain
Okay.
to you that it's got a Darkest Dungeon vibe where when you have that your characters will have a mental health stamina bar. When it hits max, they will
Hmm.
have a mental breakdown. When they have mental breakdowns, you lose 1/3 of your life pool, and you'll draw their cards. Their cards that you draw will turn into just dead cards that will pull them out of their mental breakdown. The first time will be
Hmm.
6, second time will be 9, then it'll be 12. It gets harder. The more times they have a mental breakdown in that run, the harder it gets to pull them back out of it. And eventually, you either die or everyone has a mental breakdown and you get to 0 life. But when they come out of that mental breakdown, their ego ultimate cost is 0 or -4 or something, a huge discount. So sometimes it's good to have a mental breakdown to then bounce back to get the ego ability like a 1 cost instead of a 5 cost. Okay?
Does the breakdown counter reset per fight? So like
Yes.
if I have a breakdown this fight and it costs me 6, and then I have another one next fight and it still costs me 6?
It'll cost you 9.
Wait, so it doesn't reset per fight then?
No. So it's for the run. So every time you have a mental breakdown at that run, the next one is bigger and
Okay,
harder.
okay.
Um,
Does it scale infinitely or is there a cap?
I've lost every time. I don't know. I've hit like
Okay, fair
at
enough.
like 13. At the point of 13, it's like it's impossible. Like you're drawing because at like Chrono Arc, you're not drawing taking turns. It's like you're drawing six. You draw 6 cards, I believe, maybe 5. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. You draw 5 or 6 cards, but you're drawing all the characters. You're not drawing each character. Does that make sense? So if you get unlucky, it's like
Hmm.
shuffled. So if you get unlucky,
Yeah,
you might just draw all of Maribell's skills, but she's having a mental breakdown, so they're all bricks for that turn. So you have to pass and pretty much play all the bricks. Does that
fair
make
enough.
sense? All right, let's jump into the first character. I'll get
Yeah.
you to read over the stats, and I've got everything. It doesn't look too pretty, but I have got everything on there that can explain everything. So take it away.
All right, so this is Amir. I guess the starting cards are it looks like an attack that deals 100% defense-based damage. So it deals damage based on
So
her
how this
defense.
works before you start, sorry. So starting cards is what their starting deck is when you start the game. They will start
Hmm.
with these 3 cards. Then as you
Hmm.
play through the run, she'll have epiphanies where she'll get like a little light bulb, and you'll get to pick between 1 to 2 of these, and you'll build her deck out as you play. And then her ego
So
skill,
I
aka her
assume
ultimates at the bottom.
so your three characters, I assume their decks are mixed together, right? So you would
Yes.
shuffle everybody's starting cards together,
Yes.
and like assuming that everybody has 3 starting cards, your party would have a starting deck of 9, and then you would draw a certain hand from that.
Yes.
Okay. So she's got an attack that deals 100% defense-based damage, so it deals 100% of her defense as damage.
Yep.
A steel barrier skill, gain 100% shield. I assume she has some sort of like shielding value, right? And it just gains 100% of that.
Yes.
And
100%
then
of her
gain
defense,
3 damage reduction.
Yep. So 3
Yeah,
damage
what is
reduction.
damage reduction?
So damage reduction is 50% less damage of an attack. So 3 times.
Okay, so 3 charges of that. And then
metalization's here. I've put it in the actual thing.
Okay, when gaining shield via an ability, deal damage, defense-based damage 80% to a random enemy. Okay, so she's pretty like defensive-based, I guess. Considering that her unique effect deals defense-based damage, and her attack also deals defense-based damage. And then if the 100% shield is based on her defense, then we can say that the steel barrier also like reduces defense-based damage.
Yep.
Unique cards, it deals 90 times 2.
You get to pick and learn as you do the run.
What is vulnerable?
Vulnerable, plus 25% damage taken by the enemy.
Okay. And then I assume it stacks?
Yes. Well, it stacks in regards to it'll be 25% damage, and then it'll that many turns. It won't stack to 50, 75, 100.
Yeah. It doesn't stack higher. It's just how many turns. Okay. So she's got unique cards. One of them deals basically damage twice. And if she's in metallization, reduce it by 1, and then apply 2 vulnerable. Another one gains 2 metallization, and then for a turn, you can increase healing by 30%. Does this apply to your entire party or just her?
Increase her
Should be
skill
entire
card
party,
healing. Right? No, I think it's her skill card healing. So you can get in this game, you can get normal cards from shops, which will be you can pick a plethora of normal cards you can add to your deck, and some of them are healing cards.
Okay. And then there's a full metal hurricane that costs 2, which is
Hurricane
1 more
sweet.
than everything else. Yeah, deal 200% damage to all enemies. And then for 1 turn, all enemies are targeted by a metallization effect and deal plus 20% damage. Okay, interesting. And then Iron Skin, Exhaust.
So ultimate means
Ultimate. So Exhaust is like once you use it, it just gets gone, right?
Correct. And ultimate means that once you play this card, it ends your turn automatically, even if you have action points.
Okay, so you just sequence it so it's the last one, right? But it just prevents you from using 2 ultimates in 1 turn.
Yeah.
For 1 turn, reduce damage taken, and then reduce max metallization by 4. Reduce damage taken by an additional 20% equal to that amount. So I assume it means like per each, right?
Yep.
So you can reduce damage taken by 100?
Yep.
Is it just for her or for your entire party?
Entire party.
Okay. Oh, wait, that's pretty good. Her ego skill is gain 120% shield per metallization, remove it, and at the start of the next turn, gain 3. Okay, so this is like fairly defensive. I don't know what like other characters.
Yeah, this is a good one to
like,
start.
Their
know
ratios kind of are.
Do.
Yeah, I don't know anything else, right?
I will say that she's a 4-star. I'll let you know what their star ratings are. She is a 4-star. And this is actually for people watching, this is what we get for our pre-registration. We've got 2 million pre-registrations now. We get her for free.
Oh, okay. I mean, this seems like somebody who is probably decent at entry-level content. Like, she seems defensive, which is generally how you want to skew when your objective is just to, like, clear something. Later on, I can see a world where she probably gets outscaled because these numbers aren't very high, and generally, if you're aiming on tackling, like, higher content, you want something that maybe doesn't like scale exponentially, but does scale infinitely, because ultimately numbers just get higher, and having like fixed values doesn't really help. Like maybe she's useful utility wise because her ultimate can prevent like 100 if you reduce the metallization by 4.
Yeah.
But
getting
to 4 is a big question.
Between 1 and 5, what are you thinking?
I mean, if I'm giving myself like room to maneuver, I'll probably put her at like a 3, a happy medium, and then I'll just build the rest of the tier list around that.
That's fair. All right,
so we'll go for 3.
We'll move to the next one. Here we go. All right, Beryl. Beryl is a 4-star. I will tell you.
All right, so she's got deal 100% damage, deal 220% damage, gain 100% shield, and
She has 4 starting cards.
Is that? Oh, she has 4 starting cards. Okay, interesting. Retain. What does that mean?
Retain
After you
means
play
that
it, it
you
stays
get
in
to
your hand.
keep it. Yeah, if you get to keep it if you end your turn.
Okay, so normally when you end your turn, you discard your hand and you draw a fresh set,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So for this one, you can retain it and gain a card. Okay.
Yeah.
Deal 160% if preserved.
Which
on the
means if you
previous turn. What is
kept preserve
preserve?
means if you kept it since last turn.
Oh, so if retained, basically.
Yeah.
Perform extra attack on the target 120%. Okay, so this is a okay. Unique cards. There's a charge shot, retain, deal 220, preserve, damage 100%. Guilty pleasure, exhaust, draw 3 cards. Unlimited firepower, gain 100% shield. The next attack card you use deals 80% damage. Let's see, heavy weapon specialists create 1 opening and charge shot each. So what are the opening and charge shots?
I'm guessing charge shot is that card to the left, and opening is the opening found. I mean, the translation from Korean to English is a bit rough, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it means.
I see. Okay. Grant exhaust and reduce cost by 1. Okay,
That's
so the created
good.
cards
They both come 0 cost.
are.
Right?
Yeah. Well, no, charge shot becomes a 1, I think.
Yeah, it does. You're right. Yeah, it's a 2 cost, so become 1 cost.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, like, I think this person it's probably a 4-star, right?
Yeah, it is a 4-star. Yep.
Is this one of the starting characters as well?
No, it's not actually. You have to open her.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, the
Okay.
generated
I
cards are
expected-
underneath. I just realized. Sorry, opening found and charge shot.
Yeah, but they're also the cards that
that in the
she
deck.
has above as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess the retain combo is a little bit, I guess, because the starting characters are usually like not too complicated, right? This is somewhat like of a cookie cutter like damage dealer that I would expect to be part of the starting
I
set.
did cut off the ego skill, but I'm pretty sure the ego skill is AoE that deals like 200% or something. So
how much does it cost? Like 4?
For 3 or 4, yeah. It's not that crazy. She's just a general DPS.
Yeah, I mean,
it seems like.
Can you get rid of cards in this game?
Yes, you can. You have to pay only at campfires, and you have to pay for it.
Okay, I mean, like, if you can reduce, yeah, if you're playing like a cycle heavy deck and you like end up reducing this person's deck to the point where you can reliably see heavy weapon specialists all the time, this is like a pretty decent. I
mean, Guilty Pleasure is pretty good too, right? Draw 3, 0 cost.
Yeah, but it has exhaust, right? So you're using it exactly once.
Yeah.
But like that helps with the deck reduction, right? Because there's 2 ways to reduce your deck. One is to like remove your cards, and then another one is to run like a ton of cards with exhaust, so that once you play them once in your deck cycle, your deck just becomes naturally less.
Yeah.
So if your deck's like 15, but like 10 of your cards have exhaust, then your deck is in reality 5 after you've cycled once. If you can like cycle to heavy weapon specialist basically every turn, and then generate those 2 cards, and then hold them for the next turn, once you draw it the next turn, you have an infinite loop of a 0 cost that deals 280% and a 1 cost that deals 300%.
Yep.
Which, I mean, I guess the 0
damage.
cost that deals 280 is significantly better than the 1 cost that deals 300.
Yeah.
But, for a combined cost of 1, that's not too bad. You accelerate the enemy by 2 turns, or 3 turns, I guess.
Yeah.
1 for the heavy weapons, and then 1 for each of the generated cards. Ultimately, like, less defensive than the first character, obviously, and now you actually have to build 2 stats, because if shield is based off your defense and damage is based off of whatever attack stat you have, then this character actually cares about your attack
unless you
stat.
just delete the shield cards, right? You just delete the barrier off her.
Yeah, that's true. Like, if you're only interested in dealing damage. But that would require you to run, like, probably a character that can offer, like, AoE shielding to your team, which is, like, an
it seems like the
team
general
building constraint.
comps people were running were either 2 DPS and a support, or 2 tanks and a support, or a tank, a support, and a DPS. They were the 3 main comps that were being run.
Yeah, those are pretty
as you saw with Amir, it had like deal defense based damage. So if you have 2 tanks buffing defense, then they're doing as much damage as a DPS nearly. We'll get to obviously some supports. The supports are kind of crazy, but yeah, what do you think? 1 to 5 for Beryl?
I think probably like roughly a 3, but I would lean a little bit lower. She doesn't seem to have very much versatility, and she's kind of just all damage. I can really only think of like one way to get maximum value, and that's to like burn your deck and cycle to heavy weapon specialist every turn.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to the next character, it is Cassius. That's a lot of words.
Jesus.
So Cassius is a 4-star.
Okay, so
he is the gambling character. So feel free to read into it and see
Oh my God.
what's what. So yeah, you read the starting cards and then you'll understand what everything is here.
Okay, so it looks like he's got roughly the same start, right? Where I guess the first card is like deal 100% damage, 220 damage. His, I guess, like quote unquote defensive card is a heal 100 as opposed to a shield 100. So he's the first healing character that I've seen. He's a 4-star, you said?
Yes, he's a 4-star, but he's very popular among people.
And he can start a random 1 out of 4 quests. And I guess the 4 quests are the generated missions?
Correct.
Okay. Well, I'll get to the unique cards first, I guess. 160% damage and draw card. Okay, cycle's always pretty good. Discard everything and then draw your hand again. Okay. Also decent. Just redraw your hand, -1. Dice trick. Reduce cost by the number of completed quests. Okay, so you can... Wait, has epiphany means that you can like have an epiphany and find a copy of this card, right?
So epiphany means that you can further talent tree this card into different things from here, but you will learn this mid-fight as well. So epiphany is a system where while you're fighting, your character will have an epiphany about a certain card, and it'll like when you press to play it, it'll break off into 3 different versions of it, and you pick one for it to transform into for the rest of the run. It's pretty cool. It's like a live talent tree move. Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't going to put epiphanies in because it'd be every card here has 3 choices, and it's just going to take like 4 hours for the video. So.
Yeah, we'll pass on that one.
Yeah.
So the dice trick is it deals 240%, and then you can reduce the cost by the number of completed quests. So eventually it'll become 0. And then Joker is select 1 card from the draw pile to draw. So you get to search your entire deck and you just draw a card. Okay. And the generated missions are when you use 3 costs with cost 0, create a 000. It exhausts and is ethereal. Ethereal just means when you discard it.
If you don't play it in your end turn, you have to get rid of it anyway. Like it gets exhausted.
Okay, it exhausts anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Slay Spire. Deal 40% per attack card played for 1 turn. So is this attack card played after or like attack card played before?
Attack card played for 1 turn. So it's attack card played before. So it's like a eviscerate WoW style. You set up your combo points with your attacks, and then you pop this.
Fair enough, yeah. So 3 cards with cost 1, create a 111, deal 90% damage and heal 90. Okay.
Yep.
When using cards, costs create a straight card.
So morale is 20% attack, resolve is 20% defense, and fortitude is like 20% reduction, damage reduction. I think. I believe that all that way
attack,
around.
Defense, and damage reduction.
Yeah.
So this is like super buff.
Yeah.
And then when each combatant use the card, create full house. Draw 2 cards. Okay, well, this is interesting.
Ego skills bottom left.
Yeah, I mean, ego skill. It costs 6. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Generate 2 quest cards for 1 turn. All enemies morale minus.
So minus 100% attack.
Oh, so each stack of morale is 20%.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So wait,
okay,
gain 2 morale is actually 40% attack on straight. It's not 20%, it's 40%, which is even better.
Yeah, so 40% attack, 40% defense, and 40% damage reduction.
Yep, for 1 turn.
So, interesting. Yeah, this guy is I can find somebody to synergize with him, or if you have some way of like controlling the outcome of your quests. Like if your quests are totally random, I feel like this guy is probably not great. Because there's a bunch of quests that are like on the easy side, but the mission reward is kind of lackluster. And there's, a quest with like the straight where the mission reward is like quite good, but it does require like some sort of why is it constantly suggesting a new mic? Okay. Yeah, it does require like some sort of setup. I would imagine that like you don't want too many cards in your deck naturally that cost 2.
Yeah.
So like that one is like a bit of an outlier.
Yep.
If you can grab like a power card and then also like cycle a 0 and a 1, then that would be probably for the best. But at the same time, you're playing your cards before you actually get your buff card. So you still need to have follow-up after that. The missions persist throughout turns, right? So like I can activate a quest now and finish it on the next turn.
Yep.
Yeah, so maybe activating a quest now and then like playing a 2 and then playing a 0 and a 1 to resolve the quest is like the best way to use that card.
Yep.
This guy requires some setup.
Yeah. He does. but they're all like,
I
you
could
obviously
imagine.
can't see the pictures here, but it's all like dice rolls and like he's like shuffling the deck and he's got jokers and
Yeah, I can imagine that he's very fun to play. I can't imagine that he's very versatile or consistent though, unless like there's a way to kind of control the outcomes of this. I'll give him a 2 for now.
give him a 2. Okay, that's it. There we go. It's a
Yeah.
first hot take, giving him a 2. All right, we'll go to the next one. We are going to.
I mean, I think it should be pretty clear like which way I lean, right? In terms of
Yes.
like versatility and consistency.
So this is Hugo. This is your first 5-star that you're seeing, and he is the only furry in the game. So yeah.
Ah, fantastic! He gave me the furry first.
And he's got multiple
Alright, so
multiple effects keywords here I had to put in.
oh my god. Okay. So the starting deck seems well. I mean, it looks like everybody just has a 100% damage card of some sort, right?
Yep.
So
And
like
100%
one
defense
attack
card
card.
too. Yep.
Yeah, one attack card, one defensive card is like pretty standard, and then one like specific to them card. So hunting instincts, outbreak of war. Place this card on top of the draw pile at the start of the. Oh, so you always start with this card basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When another combatant uses an enhance or skill card, gain 1 hunt commence. Hunt commence when using a targeting attack card, inflict extra attack damage, reducing hunting start by 1. Increase extra attack damage per hunting start stack by.
Question mark.
Okay. Yeah. So, I guess what is a hunting start? Like, how do you get stacks of that?
So you're getting hunting start by.
Or is it hunt commence?
Yes, hunt commence. It's just a translation from Korean to English.
Okay, so this is like a self buff, basically, like a self-contained buff specific to this character.
Well, like I think he sits there, and then like you play cards, and he just builds, right?
Yeah, he gets more, right? Fan of Daggers. For each number of target hits, gain hunt commence. Interesting. So does that mean Fan of Daggers gains you 3 per target, or does it only gain 1?
For each number of targets hit as well. So it's if you're hitting 3 targets 3 times, it's 9.
Yeah, that's 9. Quick fix, deal damage twice. If in a hunt commence state, draw an attack card. Dingo Howling, gain some shield and gain 2 hunt commence. And the Way of the Resolver, it's a unique card. Oh, so you can only have 1. Gain 2 hunt commence, draw 2 attack cards, and Eagle Skill's last resort. Deal 250% damage to all enemies, plus 30% hunt commence damage. Okay, so this guy like builds hunt stacks, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then either uses that to when using a targeting attack card. Okay, so it looks like this buff is like kind of self-contained to him, right?
So when using a targeting attack card, that is anyone in the team using a targeting attack card, not just him. So he'll follow up.
Oh, okay, I see. So he'll follow up using that.
Yeah.
Okay, so he builds these stacks, and then when anybody on the team attacks, he follows up, and
so if you have a character that makes like generates 0 cost attacks and like spams 0 cost attacks, he'll follow up every time.
Yeah, but it'll also like reduce his hunt commence stacks,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
So like every single time he follows up, he drops in stacks, and the stacks lower in damage.
Yes, yeah.
I think this is probably like you get the most value based on like how high you can get a hunt commence in like a very short amount of time, right? Like being able to play a card that generates 2 hunt stacks every single turn is not as good as being able to play a card that gives you 10 hunt stacks immediately, but you never see that card again for 5 turns.
Yeah.
So ultimately, like by turn 5, your generation is the same, but having it all in one burst is significantly better than having consistent like generation.
Yep.
So I think it's probably pretty critical. Enhance or skill card. Like taking a turn 1 like setup turn, especially because hunting instincts is always at the top of your deck, is probably pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on like, I think most like skill cards that involve like drawing cards or cycling are probably going to be 1 or 0, so you could probably play a significant number of those. But also just having Fan of Daggers on multiple enemies is probably pretty good. I'll give him a 4. Like he seems like pretty solid DPS, and you can probably scale him pretty high.
Yep.
But at the same time, like I've seen some pretty broken stuff in gachas, and this doesn't seem anywhere near like how broken I would expect like a 5 out of 5
personally touch Hugo in my beta run, but I did have him. I did hear that he was doing some crazy stuff, but I feel like you have to build around this. You need to literally build a full comp that kind of relates to follow-ups. So all right, so 4, we'll go to the next one. It is Kayron. So I don't know if you ever played Epic 7, but this is literally Kayron from Epic 7 himself. He is a 5-star unit, and this is the character I want to get. This is my husbando that I really want. He was used quite often, so
let's see what we've got here. The standard deal damage, heal. So heal, not shield. Echo of Futility, deal 220% damage, create 2 void cards. What are void cards?
So they're the
Oh, the
generated
generated cards
cards
down there. Okay, so you have a 50% chance of just getting a useless brick that says exhaust on it.
Mhm.
And you have a 50% chance of dealing 80% damage and healing 80. Okay. So unique cards, AoE for 360, reduce the card cost of this card by number of exhausted cards this turn. Okay, fair enough. Black hole deal 240, increase damage per exhausted card
By
by
40.
plus 40%, max 10 times. Okay. Oath of Vanity, void creation changes to an attack card with 80% damage and healing having 1 cost. Okay, so Oath of Vanity basically changes your future void cards to make them always the better outcome.
This is a static effect. Yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to the brick.
Yeah.
And then Echo of the Unbound, deal 240%, create 3 void cards, increase damage by that amount plus 40%. By that amount plus 40%?
That amount by
what does that mean?
I'm not sure actually. Increased damage.
Yeah, this is a translation problem, right?
Yeah, I think it's just increased damage by 40%. I don't think it's that amount.
Well, I think it means increase the damage on the generated void cards by 40%.
Yeah, potentially.
I think. I don't know.
Yep, yeah.
And then his ego skill deals 200% damage to all enemies. Exhaust all void cards in hand. Increase damage by 80% for each card exhausted. Okay. So for this guy, it seems like his unique cards have a essentially a 120% damage per 1 cost like ratio.
Yep.
And the void cards can scale 40%. The limit on 10 makes me not really like it makes me think that this guy has a theoretical like upper threshold versus Hugo, who didn't really seem to have one. Like in theory, if I were facing off against multiple enemies or a boss that spawned ads, right, I could double fan with Hugo and end up with like, I don't know, something crazy like 25 hunt stacks.
Yeah.
And then you know, not only are my attacks getting followed up with like 25 followed by 24 followed by 23 hunt stack like follow up damage. I also have that many for if I draw more, right? So like if I generate like 10 more hunt stacks, I go to 35 as opposed to 0 to 10. Yep. Whereas this person can only ever go from 0 to 10 on the black hole skill. Or like if he decides to pop his ego skill, which is, do you say once per combat or once per run?
Once per combat.
Once per combat, okay. But I mean, the ego skill in itself requires setup, right? Yeah. And he's only got 2 setup cards, which is one is a starting card, and another one is a 2 cost.
There could be points where the epiphanies make the other ones setup cards as well.
Okay, so they can, yeah, but then like you have to find that in itself,
yes,
right?
Correct.
Like if a character requires like too much setup in order to get going, then he's also inherently not that great. The Oath of Vanity is like really good, but if you have to do this every combat, then every combat you're spending 2 energy just to make it so that your generated cards can never low roll the outcome. Although I think the better way to probably use this character is to, yeah, it's really annoying because there's no way to just exhaust all your void cards beyond playing them unless you activate the ego skill.
Correct. I mean, at the end of the turn, you obviously lose your hand; they exhaust away. But yeah, in the turn itself, it's they're stuck.
Yeah, but then you're taking another setup turn, right?
Yes. Yeah, you literally got to start turning it.
Honestly, the best way to probably use this guy is to, if there's another character that generates cards that exhaust themselves that you actually want to be playing, then it can increase the damage of, or the cost of his Brand of Annihilation and the damage of his black hole without necessarily having to play any of his cards.
People that make exhausted cards.
Yeah.
But you don't know what they're going to be like, so you're going to raid it without them.
Yeah, there must be some that are good, but at the same time, this kind of, in my mind, this makes him dependent on them, because reading it as is, I definitely don't want to actually play any of his void cards.
Yeah.
He seemed really bad. I'll give him a 4.
You're going to give him a 4 still?
Actually, can I give him half ratings? I'll give him a 3.5.
Sure, we can give him a 3.5. And then, like,
I'll give him a 3.5.
You know, potentially if people like this type of stuff, after the game comes out, we can actually come back and you can be like, all right, guys, I was wrong or right or whatever. So it'd be good. All right, next character.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'll play this game, but since it is a gacha game, I'll avoid like like just rolling for like multiple copies of all the 5 stars, I'll do a min clear,
Okay,
which is
that'd be
like, I mean, I assume it's like I get the character and nothing else, right?
I don't think you've
Unless it's
obviously
farmable.
you haven't seen the videos of me running the game, so you don't know how hard that is. Although I'm not as good at roguelikes as you, so it might be hard for me and easy for you. So it'd be interesting to see what you think afterwards. All right,
try and clear.
Next character.
Not with this guy though. This guy looks like he's
All right, Khalipe. Khalipe is a 5-star. This is a character I didn't pull. I'm not going to give you any more info than that.
Okay, 100% defense, 220% defense, 100% shield. What the? Celestial Retain Retrieve. Okay. So Retain is the one that keeps it in hand if you don't use it. What is Retrieve?
You get it back once.
Like after I use it?
Yep.
Is it the first time?
Yes. Gains exhaust after
Okay.
that. Not exhaust. Gains it just loses retrieve. I'm not sure what the keyword is for retrieve, but it does lose it. Like you don't get to retrieve it again.
Okay, so it just drops retrieve. Okay.
Yeah.
And Celestial is when you use a card with cost 2 or higher, this card activates. So it activates on its own for free. Deal 140% defense-based damage to all enemies. Gain 60% shield. Gain 1 silver veil. What the hell is silver veil?
Damage reduction.
I can't even find it.
Could be wrong. Yeah, I don't have it. I forgot about it. I'm pretty sure it's damage reduction.
How much? Like 20?
Potentially. I'm not. I can. Oh, maybe I can attempt to.
Don't tell me it's all.
Let me attempt to bring it up.
Don't tell me it's like
let me
veil the
attempt
next
to bring
hit.
it up on my phone quickly because I do want to not get this one wrong.
Yeah, I'm gonna read the rest.
Yeah, keep reading.
Great Sword Aquila. Deal 220% defense-based damage. If Vulture launches in your hand, move this card to your hand. Wait, what? So I just get it back?
Silver Veil. Hold on, Silver Veil. If three Silver Shroud is active, Vulture launches its upgraded Vulture launch, and then is removed. Wherever Vulture launch is. Where's Vulture launch here? Let me look up.
It's the generated card.
Oh, okay, yeah. So what is that? It's deal 300% defense-based damage to all enemies. Deal 3% defense damage for each Vulture launch card in hand. So you just create one after you get 3 Silver Veil. So you'll get 2 from that card because it retains, right? Or retrieves, sorry.
Okay, so when I have 3 Silver Veil stacks, I get a Vulture launch.
Yes.
Okay. So on turn 1, if I just play like 2 2-cost cards, I get 2 stacks of Silver Veil, which means I'm 2/3 of the way on to my first copy of Vulture launch. Interesting.
It's
and if
also
I don't play
upgraded
it just
to an
stays in my
advanced
hand.
version of Vulture launch. And
Okay.
yeah, it has retained, so it can also just sit there.
And my Eagle skill just creates one.
Yeah.
Okay, overpower, gain 200% shield, deal 2 tenacity damage.
Tenacity damage is they've got tenacity bars that you can break, and when you break tenacity bars, you do bonus damage. They have 3 tenacity bars normally.
Okay, so this is the first person with break bars, basically.
Yeah.
Or that deals damage to break bars that we've seen. For each enemy in defeated state, which I assume is like no break bars, inflict 1 damage reduction. Okay. Gain 200% shield, draw 1 highest cost. Okay, interesting. Deal 200% defense-based damage to all enemies for each card that costs 200 plus 80% damage. Preserve all cards in hand for 1 turn. Am I crazy in saying that this person is crazy? Like, this person seems bonkers. Like, what am I even reading? Like, a defense-based damage dealer, so inherently has some sort of like defensive mechanic, does not have to build attack at all, considering I'm seeing defense-based damage. Has shielding, which is again based on defense. Mm-hmm. It has an infinitely scaling damage mechanic that causes you to retain cards. When you draw your fresh hand, do you draw to 5 or do you draw 5 cards? Like at the end of the turn.
You lose your hand and you then draw back up.
Okay. And is there a max hand size?
I believe so, but I don't know the number. I haven't hit it before. I've had 10. I think maybe like 8 to 10 potentially, but I'm not sure exactly on the number.
Okay, so if I draw 5 cards every single turn, and the max hand size is 10, that means I can keep 5 Vulture launches in my hand and deal 550% defense-based damage to all enemies.
Yep.
Every single turn.
Yep.
In addition to playing other cards. Yeah, I think this character is like beyond broken. This is a 5.
A 5?
Like, what the hell am I reading?
This is This is
Yeah,
the
I started reading like the
character
third
that
skill, and I'm
people-
just like,
This is the character people are complaining about, and they believe will be nerfed before the game comes out.
oh, fantastic! Yeah, I started reading the third skill, and I'm just like, I'm over it. Like, I'm pretty sure this is a 5. Like, I actually don't know what I could read that would convince me that this is a 4.
All right, next one. We have Lucas. Lucas is a 4 cost.
Yeah, I'm playing that character.
The keyword lead means that if you play this card first in your turn, you get
okay. So
one
I just
cheaper.
have to open
it
with
becomes
that.
1 cheaper. Yeah.
Oh, it becomes 1 cheaper if I open with
If you
it. So I
play
can
it first.
still play it. Okay. So standard attack, standard shield. Lead at the start of the turn, create 1 launcher bullet. So it looks like I've got my options of bullets. I'm guessing they're randomly generated.
It says create. I think you get to pick. It'll be generate otherwise, or it could,
Oh,
or it could
okay.
be a translating problem. I actually didn't play this guy, so
Okay. The unique
I think you
cards
get to
are
pick.
SSS, so it's an attack basically, so 100% damage. For 1 turn, increase bullet card damage by plus 40%. Does that just like tack on to the damage ratio? So if it says like, I don't know, deal like 220% damage, it becomes 260?
I believe
Or does
so,
it actually mean 40% more?
Nah, I believe
Okay,
it.
so it just tacks on. Okay, AoE for 200, draw 1 card, discard 1 card. Oh,
Create shock.
discards. Yeah, no, that's draw
Hasty
2.
messenger. It's hasty messenger.
Yeah, deal 120% damage to all enemies. Apply to weaken if the target has shield increased damage.
Weaken lowers their attack.
Mm-hmm. And then when you exhaust bullet cards, deal 40% extra attack to all enemies. Okay, so this is kind of like a persistent buff, right? Like you play it and then...
Yeah, so when the card says upgrade at the top, it's like a static effect. Say it has an upgrade underneath RPG 7.
Yeah.
They're static effects.
Yeah, so it's... Okay. Okay. Just like the bullet creating card.
Yeah.
Okay. And then your bullets are... Well, all of them have exhaust, ethereal, and bullet. All of them deal 100% damage. Armor piercing deals 50% to another enemy, and if it has shield, increased damage. Okay. Okay. All of them have deal 50% to another enemy. Interesting. Okay, so you got weaken, frail, increase action count by 1. Oh, and it has haste. Oh, so haste doesn't reduce action count, and it also increases it by 1. So that's interesting, right? Because if an enemy has like 4 action count, and I play a card, it would normally reduce it to 3.
Mm-hmm.
So if I cold shot them, the haste makes it so that not only does it not reduce from 4 to 3, it actually increases it from 4 to 5.
Yeah.
So this is better than it looks.
Yes.
Because it actually increases it by 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we got agony. What is agony? I assume it's some sort of poison.
Agony is poison, correct? Which is like deal 2 damage per agony.
Yeah, honestly, this guy is I like the utility of him. Like, I don't think his damage is very good, but assuming that you do get to choose what bullet you get, like, just spamming cold shots is, like, I would say, like, pretty decent for a baseline as, like, a support kind of pivot. Where, you know, the moment you find your generate bullet skill, like, including an RPG is, like, not totally bad either. And then after that, you just build for, like, I guess flashbang, and then just take a cold shot every single turn. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you're spamming weakens, AoE damage, an extra follow-up from the RPG. Give yourself 2 extra action count off the cold shot. And then the cold shot is, like, entirely free and guaranteed as well, because at the start of your turn, you just create it, right? Everything else is kind of just, like, extra on top of that. Like, I guess you can consider in your run whether or not you need the utility of, like, flamethrower or SSS. But at a baseline, just spamming cold shots and maybe flashbangs sounds like pretty decent for this character. So, like, very low investment in terms of card count. The cards that he does include in your deck just disappear almost instantly, right? Yeah. Because the RPG is an upgrade, so you play it and it's out of your deck.
Correct.
And same with the like bullet creation one. So it allows you to cycle cards pretty fast.
As a 4-star, do you feel like he is probably better than other 4-star damage dealers like Beryl you've seen?
I mean, as a damage dealer, no. The other people have more damage.
Yeah.
But he actually has utility.
Utility, yeah.
Which is, like, generally where 4-stars, like, in most gacha games, tend to pivot.
Yeah.
Because, like, raw damage-wise, you just can't compete with the 5-stars, right? Yeah. So I'm going to give this guy a 4. I like this guy.
Oh, cool. All right, we're going to move on to...
This is assuming that you get to choose your bullet.
Yes.
If it's random, he becomes significantly worse.
Sure. We'll go on to his brother, Luke. He's a 5-star.
Oh, okay. Well, you better be better. Standard damage, standard shield. Deal damage equal to 50x2. Create handgun bullets equal to the number of critical hits, critical chance plus 15. Does this stack? Like, how long does a critical chance plus 15 last? Or is it just for this attack?
I think it's just this attack.
Okay. Well, we'll see how the bullets go. Okay. Create 2 handgun bullets. Gain 100% shield, increase the damage on the next bullet card by 120, deal 100% damage, deal 50% damage for each bullet card used this turn, and then deadly rounds an attack. It's a bullet that does not need to be created, deals 100% damage, increase damage by 40. Okay. All right, what are our bullet options? Oh, this guy's bullets actually do different things.
Yeah.
Interesting. Ethereal exhaust bullet, sure. 70% damage, 50% damage. But extra when it attacks weak, 50% damage, extra when it attacks shield, 30% damage and apply 1 mark, 200% damage and guaranteed
mark
crit.
is guaranteed damage based on mark. Remove the mark counter after you shoot them.
Okay, I see. So that's like
when using attack cards
tracers, I guess. Like,
so Mark says when using attack cards, perform an extra attack dealing X%, reduce mark by 1, deals 0 tenacity baseline. So you get an extra attack.
Okay. So tracers basically like apply a mark, and then your next thing will like pop the mark for extra damage. Yep. And the Eagle skill deals 250% damage. It's 15% damage for every card in your hand. We can assume that that's 10 on the top end. So it basically says 5 costs, deal 400% damage. Okay, his Eagle skill is kind of lame. Interesting. I assume you also get to create your bullets. So
yeah, I assume so.
I mean, I guess if you just... Yeah, I guess if you have a relatively small deck and you can reload, or not reload, but like cycle to the critical cards in this person's kit every single turn, it's not like the worst.
Yeah.
You know, the tracer attack followed by the AP round like is decent total damage, I guess, off of essentially 1 stealth reload. But then you have to keep into consideration like the fact that you're playing 3 cards and none of them have haste. So you're reducing your opponent's like move timer by 3. So there actually is like a pretty big opportunity cost to just randomly spamming 0 cost cards.
Yeah. Also imagine
other
this
than
with
that,
like Hugo as well.
Yeah. I would say like this is a very good have you played Fate Grand Order?
Yes.
Kuchulain?
Yes, I know Kuchulain.
Like the infinite survival like guts type of character. Mm-hmm. This is a very good like Kuchulain style character where it's like if the entire rest of your team is dead and you're cycling through only this person's deck,
he can carry
in terms of cards. Yeah, he can probably survive for a long time. Just off of like seize the opportunity and like other stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like scale his own personal damage. I would say if you're working like as a team, unless there's like 2 dedicated supports just for like this type of like cycling playstyle, he's not the best. But because like just his entire kit seems very greedy, right?
Yeah.
Like he wants to play a lot of cards, so he himself is going to be reducing the opponent's move timer by like I don't know 4 or 5 a turn if you actually get to do what you want to do. But like if he's the only person alive, then you really don't care, right?
Yeah, true. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I do favor characters that are like more versatile, and this person seems like a little bit shoehorned. But I do see the opportunity if you're playing like essentially like a solo carry character, and you just want to like sack the other 2 characters as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Or if you're trying to do content that is like maybe a little bit too hard for your account, but you're trying to like cheese it. So like you just make a zombie build with guts is the equivalent in FGO.
Yeah.
So normally I'd say like 3.5, but I'll give him a 4.
Give him a 4. All right. Nice. Next one
he's got
is
some corner potential.
Magna. Magna is a 5 cost as well.
Okay, here we go. Defense-based damage, shielding. Gain 2 crystallization stacks.
Crystallization is, let me tell you what crystallization is. Crystallization says at the end of turn, gain 20% fixed shield. So 20% shield.
At the start of turn, gain 1 counter. What does that mean?
Counter, she counterattacks once. So
when she's hit, she counterattacks.
Well, when anyone's hit, because they all get hit together. They don't have split life.
Oh, they all get hit together.
Yeah.
So you have a shared life pool. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So you gain 100% shield. You do defense-based damage. I like that already. You gain a counter. So specifically, when anybody is hit, she retaliates.
Correct. For a counter, and then she'll lose a counter stack. You can stack counter stack.
Yeah. Does the counter retaliate based on her attack or her defense?
Her defense.
Oh, wait, that's pretty good. And 2 crystallization stacks reduces damage by 40%?
No, so crystallization is gain 20% fixed shield for each stack.
Oh, so she gains 40% shield. Okay.
At the end of turn, yep.
Yep. And then does crystallization go down?
Yeah,
at the end of the turn?
You lose the stack.
You lose 1. Okay. Her ego skill is deal 200% defense-based damage and reduce counter by up to 5 max. For each counter removed, increase damage by 20% of 200? That's weird, but okay, sure. Deal 150% defense-based damage, gain fixed shield equal to 50%. Fixed shield means like shield that can't be removed, or
fixed shield means that you can't. It won't scale based on if your defense or stuff goes up. It's just based on your static stats.
Okay, so it's based on your starting stats,
I want you to
not based on
infinitely
any
stack
buffs.
defense up and then get infinite shield scaled up, and then yeah.
Okay. And then gain 100% shield, gain 2 counter for 1 turn. Counter applies to all enemies.
So that becomes AoE counter.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Wow, okay. Gain 100% shield, apply 2 vulnerable stacks to all enemies. Storm Bitter Cold. When gaining shield from a card, gain 1 counter.
Yeah, that's a static effect.
Interesting. Yeah, if you could get the ice fragment back somehow or gain more crystallization stacks, that would be great. It seems like a pretty good opener card for when you just want to establish a defense. This person seems like a pretty decent support to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I were to guess for most content, she can probably like solo support most teams. I haven't seen like the power level of like other supports.
Mm-hmm. Magna fits the same spot as like a Amir in regards to she's like your tank that sits at the front or whatever and gains that shield. More of a bruiser.
Yeah, I think this is like probably like a solid like 4.5.
Okay, 4.5, not bad. Next one up is Maribell, who is another tank like the one you just saw, but she is a 4-star.
Okay, so the standard defense-based damage, standard shield, standard 2 cost for 220%. Resolute Blitz, Pulverize. When hitting a target with shield, plus 20%. Okay, sure. Deal 100% defense-based damage, gain 1 counter. Okay, so slightly better Shelter Kick. Her Eagle skill is gain a lot of shield.
Yeah.
Sure.
Which actually in early game it felt like quite good to gain 50% shield, because when you don't take damage, you don't gain mental stress. So I'd rather just overblock than underblock and gain unnecessary mental stress.
Yeah, in that sense, like shield is better than healing.
Yes.
Okay. Maribell Shelter MK2. Deal damage and then gain fixed shield equal to damage dealt. Okay. So I mean, if shield is based on defense, and this is essentially Shelter Kick plus Shelter Defense all in one, right?
Yeah, this is a pretty good card, this one. Wait till you get to the Shelter Strike.
So gain 2 counter, and then at the start of the turn, gain 2 counter. Interesting. Oh, I see. Gain 100% shield, gain 1 counter, apply 1 weaken to all enemies, pulverize, deal fixed damage equal to shield. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, Shelter Strike's kind of
cool. So this is actually...
So
is there a way to keep your shield?
Unless there's like an actual card that says it, no. But there was comps that would be running Maribell and the character you just saw before, Magna, together, and then you'd be Shelter Striking for like 300-400, which is a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, if you just apply it to like the percent, right? Like most cards gain like 100 shield for 1 cost, right? Some, do a little bit extra with that. So like assuming that you have like, let's say 4 points per turn to use. I think you said you had 3, right?
Yeah, 3.
But
you obviously can get more. You can get more.
Yeah. So like assuming a happy median of like around 4, which is I think where you usually want to be. You want to be like probably 1 above where you started.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're Shelter Striking for around 300% for 1 cost every single turn on a highly defensive character. I think as a 4-star, this is probably a 4.
Yeah. Maribell did in my beta carry me quite early because I would just chuck her in and she would shield my mental stress and then deal damage as well. So I did enjoy her a lot as a character. And it's not because of the Guna either, Sean. Just so you know, it's not the character. Look, I swear.
Sure.
Next character is.
I mean, I'm surprised.
Yeah, go on. We're gonna
Mei
say.
Lin. Yeah, I'm surprised. I haven't seen many characters other than that like first check where I like stopped reading after her third skill. I'm like, there's no way this isn't a 5.
Yeah. So Mei Lin is a 5 cost, 5-star. Sorry.
Okay, 5-star. Okay, standard 100 damage, 100 defense. Jewel of the Flame Dragon. Unique Outbreak of War.
So remember, Outbreak of War means you draw it every time at the start of the game. Start of the fight.
Okay. Oh, it goes on top of your deck.
Yeah.
Right. Increase attack card damage by 40% when using attack card. Apply 1 passion weakness to the target.
So passion weakness makes her damage do more, 20% more to the target that has passion weakness.
Okay, so it's specific to the target, and it would also be specific to her.
Yeah, when using a passion card, trigger this passion weakness for 1 turn. Passion cards gain weakness attack, so it makes passion weakness for 1 turn. Passion cards gain weakness attack. And then let me keep going.
So specifically her damage to 1 target. Okay. So basically it's like kind of like the tracer bullet, right? Where it's like you have to prep it with a skill first or an attack first, and then after that your subsequent attacks get stronger.
Yep.
Okay, Rising Dragon Spire, 100 damage, gain 2 Ember. What is Ember?
Ember, fuck. What is Ember? Let's have a look. Ember is so many keywords. Ember, when being hit or broken in breakthrough state, 30% damage taken per Ember. So when she breaks people's tenacity, she deals 30% bonus damage per Ember. So she's like a tenacity break character.
Unity of attack and defense. Draw your 2 basic cards, reduces cost by 1. Okay, so you play this, and then you just deal 100% damage and deal 100% shield for 0, but at the cost of hasting your opponent by 3. Okay, when your opponent's like action counter reaches 0, does your turn end, or do you just take a hit in the middle of your turn?
They do their ability, and then it goes back to you.
Okay, so that's significantly better. Spirit of the Armada skill. For 2 turns, increase your weak point damage by 100% on defeat.
So that means that you deal more breakthrough tenacity damage. It's not taking a whole bar off, but you're doing more tenacity damage.
No, that's good. Ascending Flame Dragon, attack weakness, deal 300% damage. Destroy Preserve Embers.
So one thing I forgot to mention, I probably should have mentioned, that these guys all have like elements attached to them, and there's certain elements that are weak to other certain elements. So attack weakness means that she will always have the attack favorableness on these cards into anything.
So what is Destroy Preserve Embers?
I think when you destroy or kill something, you get to keep your embers on the next target, or you get to destroy. I think when you kill the target, it moves the embers to another target, potentially, is what I would read and believe for that.
And then her ego skill is for 1 turn. Okay, just massive damage.
Yeah.
I think as a damage dealer, this is probably a solid. The damage scaling is like quite good, right?
She's pretty bread and butter in regards to what she does. She punches people and kicks
people.
Yeah,
this is just punches people. Yeah, I think. Yeah, in terms of like damage scaling, obviously, like unless we're getting into like the broken territory, it's very hard to like imagine something that's better, because it's kind of ticks the boxes of like all of the quintessential like early game like quote unquote broken damage units, where it's like usually they have some sort of like guaranteed crit and like crit scaling, and they also make use of like some sort of like advantage mechanic. In this case, it's like the elemental weakness, right?
Yep.
Some sort of like advantage mechanic that they can utilize to their favor. This is probably like a 4.5.
4.5, nice. She was quite a favorite. I'm not sure whether it was her kit or like how cool she looks, but she was one of the favorites that was picked quite often. All right, next one is this is your first support card you've seen, like a proper support. Mika is a 4-star, and you get her as like in the chapters, like you start with her.
Yeah, part of the last character is also kind of like the ease of use, right? Where it's like a lot of the cards are like very simple, like the one where it's like, oh, draw both your basic cards, right?
Yep.
It's like, okay, well, I draw both my cards. One of them says deal damage, and the other one says shield, right? It's like, okay, so I'm going to deal damage and I'm going to shield.
Yeah, which is great, right?
There's not too many ways to kind of like misplay, unless you cause the enemy's action counter to go to 0. All right, this character.
Mika.
Standard attack, standard heal, essence of water, free heal, and gain an action point. Okay, fair.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Unique cards retain heal and increase healing equal to the number of action points. Okay. Gain 2 tide. And tide is 3. Gain 3 action points and reduce. Okay, so every 3 tide it gives you an action point. What is save 1?
You get to save 1 card. You have to pick one at the end and save it.
Oh, okay. So basically add retain to a card.
Mhm.
Okay. Whirlpool, deal 200% damage to enemies, heal 50% equal to the number of targets hit. Okay. Deluge is unique. Gain 1 tide at the start of a turn, gain 1 tide. Okay, so this essentially gives you 1/3. Okay, so after you cast this card, ignoring the initial gain, you basically gain 1/3 of an action point per turn. Okay. I think it's decently valuable for a character that's like more or less free. Generated cards, Essence of Water. Wait, how do you generate an Essence of Water?
I believe it is from the Ego skill.
Oh, create 2 source of water. Sure. 200% heal, gain an action point. Oh, wait. That's the same Essence of Water that
Correct.
she
So
has in her starting cards.
when you surge, you gain 2 Essence of Waters, essentially.
Yeah, this is... I mean, like you said, this is probably like the quintessential support. It's a 4-star, right? So this is probably what you start out with.
Mhm.
Yeah. In most games, I think like if you have a properly functioning like team, in most games like this, shielding is generally better than healing, like for the reasons that you mentioned, right? Like the sanity damage.
Yep.
And healing is, I guess, like a way to kind of remedy mistakes. Like,
Yep.
you know, if you accidentally took damage, then healing can fix it. So it's not like healing is useless, but in general, like damage prevention is better than like damage repair.
Heal as well, she'll take off like 2 stress randomly off people as well. But it's like 2 stress is not much in the scale of things.
Yeah. I mean, this person is like, the tide mechanic is pretty good. If you can, the unique cards, I assume you can't get more than 1 of each, right, in your deck?
You can't, so
I can't just like,
you can't make them naturally, but when you beat like the end boss and stuff, you can dupe cards, so you can pick any card and dupe it.
Oh, interesting. So they're not necessarily unique then.
They are unique until said otherwise, where you can affect it. But like at that point, your run's pretty much over, or you're moving on to the next stage or whatever.
Yeah, like I don't find much value in like, for example, the Whirlpool. The Deluge is like pretty good because it basically says gain 1/3 of an energy every single turn. Same for like tactical analysis. If you draw the tactical analysis every single turn, you can retain a card and also start with an extra energy. So if we assume that you're starting with 4, then
at
like,
the same
you're basically
time,
playing
though,
with 5.
just like other deck roguelikes, when you play these cards, they're going to go to the graveyard, and then once you run out of your deck, they'll get shuffled back in. So you won't be able to draw it every turn unless you have more than 1.
Yeah.
What do you think out of 5?
Yeah, but
what are you thinking?
This is probably like a 3. Like, it's good enough to be like your first support, but I don't think she scales beyond like early content.
She was used in most comps because, just like you said, like you start with her, and she's not bad for a starting character. Like she can help you with content. If you don't have the Magna, if you don't have the Khalipe that you saw, the 5-star, you have like a Mika that would kind of heal and kind of push you through as well. So also 0 cost gain action point is always good to kind of ramp you at the start of a run as well. All right, let's go next character, Nia. So Nia, this is an interesting character.
All right, standard damage, standard healing. Is this a 4 cost?
It's a 4 cost, yes.
All right, the G chord, deal 100% damage. A random ally performs a joint attack on the target, so I assume they also attack.
Yep.
So 100% damage from you, 100% damage from a friend.
Yep.
Unique cards, heal 100%. Activate the top 1 cards of the draw pile. Interesting. Do we have scry effects? Can I stack the top of my deck?
Currently, no, but there could be in the future.
Okay.
Gain you can look morale. At your graveyard. You can look at your graveyard and what you've used and not used as well. Gain 2 morale, so morale is 20% per morale. So that's gain
20% damage, right?
And that's not for the turn. That's for the rest of the fight.
Yeah, it was. What was it? It was morale, tenacity, and resolve, right?
Yep.
Those 3.
So this one isn't for the turn though. This is for the rest of the fight. This morale.
2 morale basically means morale for 2 turns, right?
No. This one stacks. So this is 40% attack for the rest of the fight.
Oh, permanently?
Yes. For this fight.
Oh, this is good. Activate 2 random attack cards from the graveyard. Exhaust. Okay, that card is pretty insane. Deal 100% damage to all enemies. Gain 3 morale. Yeah, depending on like how fast ego skills charge, like this could be a pretty like strong character in terms of like turbocharging your early your early game, right?
Yeah.
Like if you somehow start with like let's say 4 action energy, or you have the other person that gives you like one more, right?
Mhm.
And you open with like rock and roll followed by like Nia's curiosity. Okay, now you just deal double damage for the rest of the fight.
Yeah.
You
Although don't
can
forget, ego skill doesn't get paid by actual action points. That's gained by ego points. So you got to build your ego points up.
oh yeah, gain 4 ego points. I mean even better, right? Because like as long as you're spamming cards from this character, you gain ego, right?
And then you can choose to use ego in whatever fight you want. So if it's a big fight, you can rock and roll into Nia's curiosity into whatever as well.
Yeah. And then I think Adagio is probably stronger than it looks, depending on like how you build your other characters.
Correct.
Like that super broken shielding character, right? If I activate 2 random attack cards from the graveyard and both of them are like 2 costs, then I trigger the Celestial ability on all her other like cards, right? So I can
You're
like
also
play
not
this
paying
card
the cost,
and then
so you can play characters that have 3 costs, and you can just play the 3 costs for your first card. You've just shuffled your graveyard back in, play the 3 costs, play the 1 cost, and then a Dago or whatever, and then play them again.
yeah, and then just jam for like essentially like what, like 10 energy worth of stuff.
Crazy.
Okay, this is like a solid 4, if not like a 4.5.
Yeah,
I like this character a lot.
Yeah, I like her too. She's fun, and whenever she does an ability, she does a guitar solo as well, which is kind of cool. All right, next card is This is going to be the hardest one that you're going to do. Okay, so Orlea
what is this character?
Orlea is a 5-star. I did not get her sadly, but she was quite popular. So read these first.
Okay, standard damage, standard healing, and then Outbreak of War is start with it right at the top of your deck.
Yes.
And then generate 2 creation cards.
Okay, these are her.
What are the creation cards?
So these are her unique cards. These are the creation cards that you generate.
What the hell? So these are random, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then the generate card is not it's not exhaust, right? So I can draw it again and play it again.
They are exhaust.
So I can draw 2 more.
Exhaust on them. Oh, the actual other one. The other one is
the actual one that generates 2.
You keep going.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Okay, so at the beginning of the fight, I'm just going to have 2 of these random cards. Exhaust, retain, creation. Okay, creation is just the tag, right? So like kind of a jack of all trades, right? Like I see a gain shield and preserve heal, gain damage and then preserve more damage. Increase damage dealt by 35%, so a buff, and then another buff if you preserve. So there's 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star versions of these cards.
If you read
Are
the
these
unique
equal
card,
odds?
it will help you as well. No, I believe that you have to upgrade them if you look at the above. So look
Interesting. Okay. So growth acceleration. Select one of your cards in hand to trigger the preserve effect twice. What does that mean?
Select one of your own cards in hand and trigger preserve. So these guys, because these cards have actual preserve triggers. If you look at them all, they all got preserved through bonuses. So it's just.
Oh, so you like build a bear with these creation cards.
Yeah.
Deal 40% fixed damage equal to the number of cards in your hand. Okay, exactly the same as our sniper brother Luke, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Growing creature retain. Generate 1 creation 1-star card. Passive. Preserve. Change this card to creation. Oh, so you generate a creation 3-star instead?
Yeah, if you wait, yeah.
And then Will of Light. Heal 200 and activate the preserve effect of all cards in hand. Interesting. Okay. Wait, so how do you generate the creation 2 stars?
Do not know.
That's a good question, huh?
Yeah, that's a good question. It doesn't actually tell us in here.
Yeah, so I guess at the beginning of your fight, right? You'll generate 2 out of 3 of the softy, swifty, and toughy skills. Yep. Yeah. So you got 2 out of 3, which means, you could be missing damage, you could be missing damage buff, or you could be missing, I guess, defensive, right? Shielding and healing. And then all of her unique cards, like, more or less look like they're worth playing.
Mm-hmm.
Annoying and Will of Light are probably like the most cuttable, I would say.
Yep.
Considering that like growing creature, if you preserve, well, using a growth acceleration on growing creature is kind of feels like a waste. Mm-hmm. You'd probably use it on one of your actual generated cards.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, but I would say adding growth acceleration and growing creature are probably the priorities here.
Yeah, and obviously I don't know their epiphanies, but the epiphanies probably make them even better with whatever the talent trees are for each card.
Yeah, she seems very like big brain. If you like thinking about your fights, this is probably a character that will like appeal to you a lot.
Yeah.
In terms of versatility, I would say like she seems reasonably versatile. Like there's only a 1/3 chance that you don't actually get a card that you're looking for specifically when you generate one of your creation cards. So like the consistency is like more or less there.
Okay.
4.5. Like
4.5, yeah.
This seems like a fun.
She was quite a
character
popular
to use.
character that I sadly didn't get, but yeah, she was quite popular. All right, next card is Ray. So Ray's another character you start with. She is a 4-star.
Standard damage, standard healing, a free strike for damage, and then increases the dark blade damage by 100. Okay. Her ego skill deals 200% damage, and then
anyone's basic attack card damage, not just hers, because they're all together.
Ooh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, deal 200% damage, block 4 tenacity damage. Okay. A unique card that increases the damage of cards with 1 cost by 40%. Oh, it's an upgrade. Okay. So that basically means the basic attacks. Snack time, select 1 card from your hand to exhaust, heal 100%, and draw 1. Interesting. Okay. This probably helps that that guy who wants to exhaust his void cards.
Yeah.
I can just exhaust
She's
other stuff
also a
instead.
shadow character, actually. Same as Kayron. They're both shadow characters.
Yeah. Dark Condensation. Select 1 attack card in hand, increase damage by 100% until used. And the last one deals 200% damage, gain 2 morale for 1 turn.
She's quite basic.
Okay, that card is... Yeah. The 1 cost is like quite good. Dark Condensation, if you can combo it with like a card that deals like multi-hit, like 5 hits, for example, it'd probably be insane.
Yeah.
Like if you had a card that dealt like 20% damage, x5, in order to like match it with like the standard 100% damage,
like 120
and you added 100 to that, yeah.
That's really good.
That's like her only support aspect though. Like in terms of DPS, she's probably as cookie cutter as it gets, honestly. Not a whole lot of way to like misplay using this character, but also not a whole lot of room for growth. And also like not a whole lot of room to do what I like to do with 4-star units when they become like, you know, outscaled, which is like look at their potential in terms of like pivoting them to a support role. So for that, a 3, unfortunately.
3? Okay, yeah. I think
you're very cookie cutter, but
very basic, yeah. All right, we'll go into Owen, another guy you start with in your starting party. 4-star.
All right, standard damage, standard shield. Oh, the next attack card you use gets 1 extra hit. Yes, Ray's best friend over here. The ego skill, a lot of damage and a lot of shield. Okay. The unique cards deal 220% damage to all enemies. Okay, so a little bit better than the starting cards, where they deal 220 for 2.
I know his head's blocking. He gives 1 vulnerable as well, or 2 vulnerable.
Okay, a little bit of an upside on the downward cuts. Wind Riding, gain some shield, and then move Wind Charge from discard to hand. What is Wind Charge?
The one above.
Oh, the buff?
Next attack you gain.
Okay. Gale Strike. Deal damage, gain shield. Okay, so a weaker version of his ego skill. And then he can generate a Wind Charge? How?
Yeah, that's when, I think when you move the Wind Charge from discard to hand, maybe. Or maybe there's another epiphany that makes them, but...
Yeah, I mean, if you move it from discard to hand, right, it should imply the same copy, because that actually does make a difference, right?
I believe it will be the same copy. The generated card might be an epiphany that makes a Wind Charge or something.
Well, I mean, he seems very, like, self-combo oriented. Like, if you Wind Charge and then you Gale Strike, right, you essentially converted your Wind Charge into an extra 250% damage.
Yep.
It's much like the other, the character that we just reviewed, like Ray.
Right, yeah.
Like her damage conversion. If you have 5 hits, then you convert the 100 to 500% damage.
Yep.
So
it just depends on what you're using on, I guess.
Yeah, ultimately, like, it probably depends on what other characters you can use them with. This is probably still, like, roughly a 3.
Yeah.
He doesn't necessarily seem worse or better than Ray.
He doesn't look like he scales too much unless other people are scaling him. So, all right, next one. I think we're near the end. So Rinoa is a 5-star. She's a 5-star shadow card.
All right, standard damage, standard shield. Extra damage and creates a dirge bullet, which is that is fat damage. Okay, so that is very fat damage, basically 240%.
So if you play it and deal 160, you won't get the 80% because you won't be moving it to the graveyard because it'll exhaust it.
Oh, because it's exhausted. Interesting. So if you discard it, then it deals. So
you want to kind of stack bullets into your hand and then like end your turn, and she just goes.
Yep. Her unique cards, Instant Judgment. Deal 180% damage. If Dirge Bullet is in hand, discard one, increase card damage by 100. Okay, so you generate a bullet, you discard your bullet.
Deal 80 and then plus 100, so it's like 180,
yeah,
right?
you gain some. Ballad of Pitch Black. Deal 50x3, and then increase damage by 20% for each Dirge Bullet. Okay, fair enough. Discard 2 cards in your hand, generate equivalent Dirge Bullets. So ideally, you discard 2 Dirge Bullets and you generate 2 more.
Yes. Yep.
The Resolute Assaults retain exhaust. Discard all Dirge Bullets and apply plus 80% damage for each one in discard. Okay, so her upper cap is again kind of like that other character that caps at 10 because you're kind of being capped by your hand size.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very unlikely that you get to discard like let's say 2 sets of Dirge Bullets.
Make sure you read the ego skill at the bottom as well.
Yeah, draw all Dirge Bullets from draw pile and graveyard. Yeah. But like some of them care about Dirge Bullets in hand, and then some of them care about, I guess, Dirge Bullets in discard. Which, you know, they do have an effect that helps them do that, right? Which is like you discard first, and then you check how many are in discard. But in terms of like generating a ton in a turn, I still don't think you'll be able to generate more than your hand size worth per turn. But on the upside, right, when you discard it, you do get to perform like 1 billion attacks.
Yes.
So like if you have a Resolute Assault in hand and like let's say 9 Dirge Bullets, right, you would discard 9 Dirge Bullets, do 9 80% attacks, and then follow it up with a Resolute Assault that dealt like what 900.
Yeah, 720 plus 900, right? So it's like 1620 or something stupid.
Yeah. Ultimately, like, if you set it up properly, I could see you discard, like, I don't know, let's say, like, discard 5, attack 5 times, use the ego skill, add them all back, end your turn, discard 5 again, attack 5 more times. Very good at, like, self-setup, I guess. Like, I don't think there's anything in here where I'm just like, yeah, I think I need another character to, like, do X for me.
She was a character, because I played with her a fair bit in my beta. She was a character like Luke, you said earlier, where when 2 people died, she was kind of able to hold her own by herself by just generating her own kit.
Yeah, she's more like offensive oriented, where Luke seems more like defensive oriented, because he does have that like shielding aspect first. This person is just going to be like raw damage, right? Can you just like DPS down the boss before the boss can kill you?
Yep.
I mean, not too much to complain about, but also not too much like versatility. If you want to build around her, I think she's probably a pretty suitable carry. So like a 4.5.
4.5, nice. All right. Rin, my favorite. I'm not going to say other than she's a 5-star. That's it.
All right. 2 constant damage ratio, protection, drawing / haste. Okay, so this is free.
So just make sure you read her actual attack names because she's like a Naruto samurai. They're all like different forms and stuff. She's like, I felt like I was playing Demon Slayer when I was playing her.
Okay, so let's see here. Deal 120%. Obtain Dark Cloud Stance. Dark Cloud Blade Art effect. Card's damage increases by 50%. Okay, so
I'll explain her kit just basically. When she obtains Dark Cloud Stance, she gets her bonus effects on all her cards that say Dark Cloud Blade Art effect. So when you're not in the Dark Cloud Blade Art stance, you will not get the effects on these cards, the second effect.
Okay. So I assume it has to be before I play the Drawing Slash, right? Like
so the Drawing Slash is one of the cards that lets you obtain Dark Cloud Stance along with
but it also has a blade effect.
You won't get the effect if you start with Drawing Slash.
Yeah. But if I did have Dark Cloud Stance before I played Drawing Slash, right? It would deal 120 plus 50, and then I would lose the stance, and then I would gain the stance again.
You would keep the stance for the turn. The stance falls off. Stance falls off at the end of the turn unless you find a way to keep it.
Okay, interesting. Okay. So once I get it, it empowers all my cards, basically.
Yes.
Okay, the first card is obtain the stance, and then draw 2 of her cards, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Haste, so free. Deal damage, and then times 2, basically. Dark Cloud Force Art for 1 turn. Okay, preserve. I mean, I think the preserve is like honestly less interesting if like half my cards say obtain it anyway.
This is the main card that I deleted from her deck. I really didn't like this card because I didn't need to preserve it.
Yeah, Dark Cloud Force Art. For 1 turn, increases attack card damage by 30. Yeah, I mean the increase by 30 is also a little bit weak, right?
Mm.
Like you're not gaining more than like what 25% effective DPS.
Mhm.
And the last one, Dark Cloud, Arcane Art, Black Mist, deal 150%. And the card's damage count increases by 1 according to the number of skill cards in the hand. Okay. So we are
150 times
probably
5.
relying. Yeah, we are probably relying on our teammates to provide skills. I do remember there were a bunch of like other people that generated like certain exhaust cards. If any of them are skills,
Yep.
that's a pretty good person to pair with this.
So I was pairing Nia with Rin. So Nia would Adego her cards back up and would attack with her.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, if you want to adagio like these attack cards, especially after you obtain the stance, and then you just like start spamming it
blow
up.
people up, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's only got like 3 attacks, right? So chances are like you have 2 of them, especially if you can adagio the Black Mist, 150% times 5, and then do it again. Yeah, I mean it's another like self-contained DPS character. I would say probably a little bit less consistent than the other person. Like I can see this person suffering a problem where you draw your cards in the wrong order, and then it's like kind of rough. Drawing 2 of your cards from the draw deck or discard pile. If you're not careful about deck management, like ideally for this one, right, you want to draw from the discard. You don't want to pull from deck, because if your deck is full and you pull from deck, that means you've essentially bricked this character until you've cycled your deck again, right?
And she's also this character is very action point hungry, so she will take your team's action points and use them all herself or for her, because she's drawing her own cards, she's drawing the more cards, like she's using her the action points.
Yeah, the water person that heals and gives you extra action points is probably like almost mandatory for this character then. And also like I guess like 2 supports that have very thin decks, right? So what's Luke's twin, the 4-star guy?
Lucas.
The one that I said could probably work off of level cards.
Lucas, yeah.
Yeah. So that guy's probably like pretty good, because by the time you cycle through your deck once, that guy's like total cards in deck have gone from 4 to 1.
Yeah.
So that gives you more space to cycle written cards. Self-contained DPS, like I assume the damage is pretty good just seeing these numbers, but a little bit less versatile. Like if I'm actually knocking down for versatility, she's probably like a 4.
Yeah.
But I'll be fair and give her a 4.5.
Yeah, fair. All right. We've got 3 left. So we go to Selina. Did not play this. She's a 4-star. Have not played her.
All right. Damage, shield, and apply to mark. Okay. Mark is the one where if you deal damage to it, it like blows up a mark and does
an extra attack. Right? Yeah.
Okay. And then, okay. Deal 100% damage, apply to mark. All enemies take 150% damage, apply... Oh, okay, the elemental weakness.
Yep.
Gain shield, and then for 1 turn, tenacity damage increases by 100%. Okay. And then the upgrade. When you perform an extra attack, deal 1 tenacity damage.
That's pretty good.
Interesting.
Imagine that with Hugo.
So this only...
Hugo would just break the tenacity forever.
Yeah, this only applies to her, right?
So it's... When you perform an extra attack, I don't know. Maybe not.
It depends, right? Like, if this applies to other characters, especially characters that inherently have like plus tenacity or something like that, right? Like plus tenacity damage, then this could be a pretty good combo in order to
break people over and over again.
Yeah, to handle bosses with like big break bars. I assume like general mobs don't really have them, so you still need
have
to
them,
take
but
care
it's
of
like
that.
you're killing them anyway. Like, but sometimes break bars, if you break people far enough past bars, they can get stunned and stuff as well. So
yeah, I mean, as a DPS, like it's pretty like bread and butter, right? Like
it feels like she's like a support DPS in a weird way, though. That's how I feel about her.
Yeah, but I mean, I like it, right? Because like I said, when your 4-stars stop being useful in their like actual like DPS roles, you need to see how well you can pivot them into like supporting the rest of your team, and she's actually got like some upside there. So 3.5.
Okay. Going into Tressa. Tressa is one you also start with.
Okay. Damage and healing, 2 shadow daggers. All right, what do we got here? Shadow dagger and upgraded shadow dagger.
So you get the shadow dagger.
Gain 2 agony. So you gain 2 agony.
No, they gain 2 agony. So she's a poison. She's like one of the only poison characters. People love her.
Okay, I was like, damn, thank God. What the heck? This is terrible. Oh wait, so her healing, her defensive skill actually costs twice as much.
Yeah.
As other characters. Okay. She's got Curse for 1 turn. When using attack cards, apply 2 Agony, heal, and then create 1 Advanced Shadow Dagger. Deal damage 3 times. If the target is in agony, increase damage by +50. Okay, that's pretty good. Plus 150%. Curse Gouge, apply 2 poison, apply 2 weakness. Okay, what is poison? Is poison agony?
Poison. I mean, poison should be agony. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's agony. Oh, it does say 2 poison on
Okay.
the actual game though. I'm not sure. It feels like agony. It felt like it was agony. I'll quickly keyword search it, but I don't know why it would be any different. Continue though.
Yeah. I mean, this is the poison character, right?
Yeah.
This is a 4-star, right? You mentioned?
This is a 4-star you start with, yeah.
Yeah.
She
I
not
think
to bias your ratings, but she was being used a lot to cheese endgame. Like endgame we got up to, people would use her on a boss because like agony. Obviously poison is great into bosses.
yeah. I mean, I think like in terms of like 4-star DPS scaling, right? This is probably one of the only scalable DPS characters, just because of the poison aspect, and also like even if poison doesn't do like max percent HP, right? You can always just apply more unless there's a poison upper limit, right?
No, there hasn't been so far.
Yeah, and then another thing is also like I'm making an assumption here, but for like the ego skill charging, right? I would assume that it's based on like how many cards of them that you play,
I believe so.
and being able to generate 0-cost cards means that your ego skill charges way faster than anybody else's.
It's also
right?
it's not even you're generating ego points not for each character. It's a total ego point. So you can generate through her to 6 and then use Rinoa's ultimate with those ego points.
Yeah, so she's got another like I guess supportive aspect where she can handle like your ego gen, because just popping her ego gives you 3 cards,
She
right?
also
And then if you
some
have
of her
the Unsheathed
epiphanies,
Dagger,
like Unsheathed Dagger. The epiphany can be make it a 0 cost. The other epiphany could be create 4 shadow daggers with exhaust. So she's able to like with Hugo, they just like she brings out all these 0 costs, she spams them, and he just attacks over and over again.
yeah, that would work. Yeah, a 4-star with upside. This is a 4.
Well, yeah, fair. All right, the last character, I couldn't fit her picture because it's
What?
Veronica, not Veronica, but she's an interesting character to actually deal with.
All right, is this a 4-star or 5-star?
This is a 5-star.
This looks like a 5. Yeah, okay. No picture.
No picture. She's a
Standard
bunny
damage.
girl with a massive ballista, like a crossbow.
Of course, a massive ballista. You said. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm sure. All right, standard damage, standard shielding. Unique starts at the beginning, or starts in your opening hand. Create a ballista, and then every turn you get a ballista. Okay, fair enough. The
Ballista's at the
generated
bottom.
cards, you get a ballista, and I assume, is there a way to trade in your ballista for another ballista, or
No,
is the
so that
first
you
ballista card
start with
just
the
like,
ballista, and then there's other epiphanies that can let you branch out from your ballista to other ballistas.
got you? Okay, so
But
you just
the
get the
way the
ballista.
ballista works, as you see, you can't actually play the ballista. It's like an end step, you auto shoot it.
Yep, and it's just there.
Yep.
And ethereal is, well, if it's ethereal, right? You wouldn't discard it, right?
No, you
Like,
just
because it would
shoot
go
it
to the
and it
grave.
leaves.
Oh, does it? So it
Yeah.
activates automatically.
You can't draw more than one ballista. You've always got one ballista.
Okay. The reload is
Oh, unless there's certain points where you get 2 ballistas, that's when you like evolve her and epiphany her and stuff.
sure. Repose is gain 100% shield. Draw 2 other combatant cards. Okay, so it draws other people's cards. Pendant of Resolution. When another combatant uses skill cards, gain 1 reload. Reload increases ballista damage. Okay, sure. Kowalski.
No,
Gain 1 reload,
he's a
draw
little
1.
like squirrel guy that like sits on her shoulder.
Isn't Kowalski supposed to be one of the penguins from Madagascar?
Maybe, but he's like a little squirrel. He like fly kicks onto her shoulder when he plays Sir Kowalski.
Ready Bombardment. Increase max stacks and reload by 1. Gain 1 reload. Oh, interesting. So it goes up to 5 stacks then. And the ego skill is deal 250% piercing damage to all enemies, gain the maximum reload. Interesting. Yeah, this would definitely be somebody who benefits from the previous poison person's like ability to basically ego bank. I guess I'll call it.
It felt like her ego skill was very strong when I shot it, even though it doesn't sound strong, 250%. It felt like I was shooting for a lot every time I used it.
Yep. Let's see. Well, I mean, most of the ballista upgrades seem pretty reasonable. Like, there's not a single one that I would say like scales the percent a lot. Like scaling the percent would be like, oh, okay, changing it from like a single target ballista to like an AoE ballista. So, it essentially scales it by 150 or like 300% because it's 150 times 2 or 150 times 3. Um, most of them seem like pretty consistent in how much they scale.
What are we thinking?
Yeah, this is a tough character to evaluate.
Yeah.
I would say like this character is like more than any other of the damage 5 stars. Like, I think there have been some damage 5 stars that I've been tempted to rate like a 4, but for the most part, they're all like pretty self-contained. Other than like Luke, which I wasn't like super convinced about.
Yeah.
But they're pretty self-contained in the sense that like they buff their own damage and they're not really like requiring anybody else to help them out.
Yeah.
And they're also like pretty straightforward too. Where as long as you're actually seeing their cards and you're not dead drawing, they can scale their own damage pretty well.
She kind of tricks me a little bit in regards to, like, I did play with her a little bit. She feels more like she is a low action point, hungry support at DPS that you kind of want to sit there, you shoot your ballista for free every turn, and you draw cards for other people. That's how I felt.
Yep. That does require you to, like, in terms of editing the deck, right? You need to get rid of her rapid fire and her illusion. So that, like, the only cards you have from her are basically like the firing preparation.
Yeah.
And like repose or maybe pendant, right? Like, to be honest, you're not really interested in Kowalski, and like ready bombardment is, I mean, it's just extra, I guess. Yep. If you have the space and you're willing to potentially like draw a brick, you can include it. But other than that, like if you're gonna play her in like a very low action point support style, it's just repose. Like shield up, draw some other people's cards. I activated my firing preparation like 4 turns ago, right? That's it.
Yeah.
And then when I draw repose, I play repose, and when I don't, I don't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're looking for 5-star to actually...
You're thinking lower than the other 5 stars. That's where you're heading, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely heading there, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're, like... I guess the idea is that, like, in a gacha game, when you roll a 5-star, right, you want it to be somebody that you can either slot in every team or build a team around, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And I feel like this is kind of neither. Like, you're gonna have a bad time if you just like randomly throw this character into like every team.
Yep.
And at the same time, like, she doesn't really feel like she would shine if you tried to like build a team around her.
Especially when the thing that hurt me the most as well is that when you shoot that ballista at the end of your turn, it's a random person. You're not picking an enemy, which is really frustrating. So like you're trying to kill a boss and she just keeps shooting the ads that he's spawning. You're like, okay, well, what the fuck's this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you can get the Epiphany upgrade, right, the giant ballista is probably like the most usable.
Yeah.
So at least there's like some level of reliability there, where it's like, okay, this target is taking 120% guaranteed because it's every target, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, she's probably a 4 to me at least. Like
a 4.
In terms of 5 stars, this is the easiest one that I have.
Yeah.
Like this is the one I have the easiest time knocking down to a 4.
That's fair.
And feeling good about it.
All right. Well, I've taken an hour and a half of your time, so I'll ask you one last question. First of all, I appreciate you going through all these with me. This has been good. What character out of all the ones you've seen would you be most hyped to pull day one?
To pull?
In regards to even aesthetic and content. You want to push content.
I want the second last character, the poison one. Is she free?
She's free. Tressa, you get her at the start.
Okay. Well, I'll play with that.
Yeah, okay. Well, I hope really to hear about if you do well with... I mean, she's good.
Yeah. I like characters that play a lot of cards, especially in games where, like, playing cards have added benefits. And I think, like, just managing the opponent's, like, what is it even called? Like, the action meter is not, like, that hard of a skill to learn in most games.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you for your time, Sean. Hopefully we'll come back to this after the game comes out and you'll be either happy or sad with your min run.
Yeah, everyone on YouTube can now flame me for my
yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm happy for
uneducated takes.
What we'll do, guys, if you like this content, please let me know in the comments. We're happy to do more content like this. I think Sean's going to give it a go now, so we'll see how he goes with Chaos Hero Nightmare. And thanks for the video. See you guys next time. Yeah.
See ya.